Do you know these creative mental states we go into when we engage our analytical faculties? Perhaps they are flow states, they are daydreaming states that can be have different forms and shapes. And I'm making this video having particularly in mind my friends and colleagues in science and engineering and all the STEM fields. Whether you are still working in academia or you have another job, please follow along and let me know what this moves inside you later in the comments. I would love to know from you as well. So, you see, this is one of the things I wasn't aware when I was still doing science, when I was still in theoretical physics. And if I was aware about it, it would have made my science productivity, my ideas so much better. Because, there is this state sometimes when we work on problems, whether it is writing down equations or typing code for something we want to build, or just studying a topic, right? And try to make deductions and conclusions and move things further. There is this state where suddenly ideas start merging, ideas start aligning, and maybe perhaps we have a big aha moment, or basically things start flowing and our output, whether it is a decision or an experiment or finding the steps or typing stuff down, just keeps coming one after another, and we go into that, right? So how can we make this happen better, or how can we bring these big aha moments in a better, more systematic way, so we can facilitate them for ourselves instead of just leaving them random? And this is right. These are the states when things happen and flow. How do we get there, right? So these states are essentially hypnotic states. They are trance states, or you could call them meditative states. They all belong in the same big family of mental states where our mind gets a wide perceptiveness. Now, when we go through our education in undergraduate and graduate school, we are never being taught that. We are never being taught how to do these things. What we are being taught is like we're given problem sets, we're given exercises, and we are encouraged to engage with ideas and find solutions. And through this education, we build the habit of putting our mind in states that allows us to find solutions, right? But putting our mind in our states that allows us to find solutions happens as a secondary fact of this education. It's not being taught primarily to us. So some of us may pick it up better than others, and some of us may struggle a bit more with it, right? So what if there was a way to get there more easily, more intentionally? That's what it is about. So by going through this education, what happens? We progressively form some rituals or some procedures of operation in our mind. And maybe we are aware of them, or we just build the unconscious habit of doing them, right, without being aware. And or we may see others do them much better than us and get, or we don't even aware that they do them. They just get results and ideas come to them, and we are like, how did they do that? Okay, how did they do that? So learning how to do that was for me one of the big aha moments when I switched from physics to hypnosis, and becoming aware how to do that to boost my productivity and my idea generation. And this is something I would love. I would love to bring back to science. I would love to bring back to my science friends and contribute to the creative and scientific output in this way. And please, like, if this resonates with you, just let me know. Just press a like, or maybe subscribe to follow more videos in my channel. I would love to engage with you and interact with you. Now, here is how to do that. Okay, here is some ideas, some ways of how to do that, because there are many different ways we can engage with the state. So sometimes we hyper focus on something and we go into this flow state, right? where we have kind of like a stream between our ideas and our output. Other times we may just go inside and we kind of daydream. We may see the equations in our mind and or the pieces of code or the elements of the thing we're working on. Perhaps our experiment, the decisions we want to make for our company, maybe. So you see, and the thing, and some other times we just need to take a break. We need to take a break and we just take a stroll outside and then things come to us, right? So when we take a break when we daydream, we kind of like go into more perceptive, wide, open focus mode in our minds. And this is something that helps a lot versus having this narrow focus on things that help us go into this flow state. So finding this balance between wide focus and narrow focus according to what we are doing, it's something that's really important, as well as removing out of the way things that block us in getting into this process. So maybe like other thoughts we have, or like, oh, is this going to work? I'm not sure if it's going to work. No, we go in full in, engaged, and we expecting to find everything that will make it work, that will make it happen. So a thing you can do then is, first of all, we go in these states in every time of our day. They're a natural part of the human mind. So the thing you can do, right, if you daydream, if you close your eyes and you feel you think deeply, start noticing, start becoming aware, like be a scientist, be an analytical thinker. And notice, go back in the beginning and start noticing the steps that brought you there. Right? Usually we are focused on the output. We just think of a problem and focus on the output, and then it's done. After the output, start thinking of, like, what steps did I follow, and start becoming aware of your steps. And if you want me to to engage in this conversation together, so you become aware with your steps with someone noticing externally, I can help you with that. So let me know. Just write a comment or send me a message by going to my website or stsv.com and just leaving a message there. And I would love to engage with you and see how you use the creative parts of your mind in different ways and help you bring them together in better manner. Now, here's the thing. So you start noticing and then be a scientist, be an engineer, and maybe remove some of them, put some extra, and see what happens, see what changes. Because what you want to achieve essentially, right, is you want to bring together all the important elements of the experience that matter for what you are doing, while removing everything that may get in the way. And there is like a tuning of intuition that allows this to happen. But to tune this intuition, start playing by putting things different in and out. Perhaps you find yourself you are breathing in a particular way, or you are gazing in some particular direction when these things happen for you, right? What is it that makes it happen for you? That's what I'm curious about, and you should also be curious about. And then one can also like facilitate specific methods of doing that, maybe like self-hypnosis methods, that are more structured. And I can show you this if you want. The point is though, right? Instead of just doing it automatically and just focusing on the result, which is the way we are being taught in our science education, start becoming aware of the process, start bringing parts of the experience behind and feeding them and looping them back in. And see how, as you loop them back in, how your output changes. Now, the amazing thing with that is that these mental states, if you found a way to harness them, if you find a way to engage with them intentionally in any moment of your life, or whenever you feel it's purposeful for you, you can use them to problem solve in other areas of your life, right? Sometimes, because we are being taught to solve things in science and get in these states in science, our minds get conditioned to be able to problem solve and find go in this stage when we think of physics problems, when we think of code, when we think, whatever we're working on, of our biology problem. However, these are the states I help my clients when we work one-to-one to engage in, right? So I can guide them so they find resources that help them resolve their what troubles them, what they visit me for. So if you're able to, engage in the states by yourself, by finding what you're already doing in science and in engineering, then you will be able to start guiding yourself in taking the first steps in, improving your own life in many other areas. So there is extra value to that. However, I have to warn you. There is a cost. There is a cost to that. Like when you achieve it, it's great. But in the process of achieving it, and please, like, I want, I know this is like a pain point. So if this sparks something inside you, I understand that, and please reach out to let me know, right? And yeah, we will figure it out together. The point is here that because we are so output driven, and we never think of the process that brings the output, when we start engaging in finding out the process that brings the output, for a moment, for a period, as long as we do this experiment, we may, our, how to say, efficiency in producing outputs, it's temporarily reduced because our attention, our focus goes elsewhere. It's just because we are directing elsewhere mental resources, right? That's the reason. So we have to shift our focus a bit away from the output as a final result and as the ultimate goal, and just put our attention a bit back how we, engage with these processes. And once we figure out that and we, optimize that for ourselves, then 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 we can focus again on the output and be much more efficient than before. In the meantime, though, we have to let it go a bit. And if we always want to prove the thing, that can be a bit difficult, and I understand that. I have been through that myself. Okay, I have been through that myself, and sometimes I still my mind still goes there. So keep this in mind, right? If you find yourself navigating towards the output, that return back to the process, because this essentially this scientific trances, right? This stage we go when we try to solve a problem exist everywhere, and we do them naturally. You do them when you try to think of, your code, your equations, your experiment in chemistry and biology, or how to, take the next steps in your business. They are always there. So, if this moved something inside you, if this inspired you, I would love to know, like, what are the ways, you find yourself engaging in this process? Did some ways come to you? As we were talking right now, right here, do you start recognizing something in this moment? What is a process you follow? Do you already have a process? Let me know if you already have a process, because the other people who are watching this video will also benefit from it by learning from your process. So please leave a comment below, and if this inspired you, if this moved you, I would love to know. So let me know that as well. Press a like to let me know. And as always, right? Subscribe if you want to find more videos in this direction. Okay, that's all for now. Bye everyone.